Happy Monday. So we ended up having to take yesterday off because I was having some technical difficulties with my back. And so since that happened, I needed to make up for it. So we went for a stroll around Green Lake. And then after that stroll, I just went out boating and whatnot. But I just kept myself moving throughout the day to burn energy best I could. I'm gonna try mowing the lawn today and then maybe, move around or go for a walk some other day. Just having like a funny thing with my shoulder and my back. I think it was because last week I did heavy conventional deadlifts, 350 pounds. That's the first time I've done a weight like that, pulling from the front in a long time, and I think it just jacked my back up really good. But that's the thing, when you're pushing these heavier weights as a smaller person, when you're pulling heavy weight, there's like a transformation that your body needs to go through, a mutation, if you will, in order to have the necessary muscles to support that kind of weight. So I'm sure that what I'm going through right now is a bunch of tiny microscopic tears that are affecting my my ability to like stabilize myself and to feel comfort and whatnot. So this is just getting me ready for that heavier weight. So I'm just gonna take it one day at a time. If I have to take days off, I have to take days off. I am gonna try and ride today. I may start like splitting in little pieces of footage that show me like riding. Practicing or whatever, just to make part of the vlog, since especially like the whole endomorph thing is about like this necessity of always like moving your body and being active. That's the life you have to have as an endomorph if you want to maintain a lean physique, or you're not going to be able to eat much of anything ever, which is what the video is about today. This is the deal, the carb intake, okay? Like I was saying, if you're not counting macros, you're wasting your time. Don't even let's not even have a conversation. Don't ever ask me to help you at all if you're not counting your calories and your macros. That's where it starts. You gotta count your calories and your macros. My brother asked me a couple years ago about eating and everything like that, and the whole diet, and he asked me, do you count macros? I'm like, no, I don't need to cut any macros. Forget macros. Macros are a waste of time. What I meant by this was you can lose weight without counting macros, absolutely. But are you gonna have that look that you want, and are you going to have the diet structure that will keep you lean? Probably not. You're gonna have to cut. You're gonna have to count macros. And if you don't count macros, you're doomed. I mean, you're doomed. So you gotta count macros. But this is the thing with the carbohydrate intake. If you're having carbs, if you're having low carb, it's gonna be difficult, especially if you're in a deficit, to keep improving your strength. And that's probably where I'm at right now, is I'm not eating enough to support the amount of weight that I'm lifting. And so, I'm gonna either have to up the carbohydrate intake, or I'm gonna have to, something's gonna have to be done. But if you can eat in a deficit, and the higher carbs that you eat, that will help you with recovery and to help fuel your workouts. But the lower carbohydrate that you eat is going to affect that. You're gonna have to lift lighter and lighter weights as you get lighter, until you build up that base, because you're in a deficit. Unless you have like more muscle, okay, let me put it to you this way. You can only lift the weight that the muscle fiber that you have on your body can support. So it's not necessarily that a guy that's 200 cuts to 160, he's not heavier than another, or stronger than another guy that cuts from 200 to 160, because the guy that cuts from 200 to 160, one could have a lot of muscle and one could have less of a muscle base. So the guy with more of a muscle base is going to be able to lift more. So, you know, but I thought that was just a good little tip to throw in there. Like, you know, check it out, you know. You're counting macros in order to adjust your carb levels, especially in the protein. But if your lifting is lagging, if your muscles are lagging, or you're losing strength, as an endomorph, you may want to top out those carbs. And I'm thinking, you know, like, you can't go any higher than 35%. So 35% if you're losing strength, but you still want to stay in a deficit, and 25% of your intake if you just don't care, you're just going to reduce your workouts. You know, that's what I'm experiencing. So happy Monday.